Welcome to Smart Home Tidbits, where Sarah and John, your AI guides, summarize the latest in smart living, keeping you informed and inspired in just minutes. Let's dive in.
Ever tricked out your home with some really cool smart tech?
Yeah.
And thought, hey, maybe I could do this for other people?
Yeah.
Well, today we're diving into what it really takes to be a smart home installer. And I'll be honest,
Okay.
it goes way beyond just knowing how to, screw in a smart light bulb.
Right, because figuring out your own setup is one thing.
Yeah.
It's like, that first time you bake something and it actually turns out right and you think you should be on the Food Network?
Right.
But dealing with other people's homes, that's a whole different beast. You've got all these different setups, all these weird old gadgets.
Yeah, so just because you managed to set up your smart home doesn't make you an expert quite yet.
Exactly. You got to go from one-hit wonder to actually being able to deliver amazing quality every single time. And here's the thing.
Okay.
Having the technical skills, that's only half of it.
Oh, okay.
Remember that time you spent 3 hours helping your friends set up their Wi-Fi and it took way longer than you thought it would? Now imagine you have to do that, but you also have to think about pricing, marketing, scheduling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more than just the tech stuff.
Right. Building a business. Whole different ballgame.
Okay.
That's why, you know what? You really need to be self-aware if you want to be a successful installer. You got to know what you're good at and what your limits are.
So know your strengths, know your weaknesses.
Exactly. What are you really good at? Where do you need to bring in some help?
Yeah.
Or learn some new tricks?
And maybe even more important, what kind of business are you even trying to build here?
Oh, for sure.
Are you going for those really high-end custom installs? Or are you thinking you want to be the go-to person for everyday smart home problems?
Exactly. You got to figure out who you want to work with, what your niche is. That's going to determine what skills you need and what services you offer.
Right, makes sense. So you got to know yourself and you got to know your business.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about knowing yourself, knowing your business.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the actual work, the installations themselves?
Mm-hmm.
What separates the pros from, well, the rest of us?
It's not like they have superpowers or anything.
Right.
Although some of those setups pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
But really, it comes down to getting those basic things right every single time.
Oh, yeah.
You can have all the best ingredients in the world, but if you don't know the basics of cooking,
Yeah.
you're not going to make a Michelin star meal.
So no shortcuts,
Yeah.
no matter how fancy the tech is.
Exactly.
So give it to me straight. What does it take to be a truly great installer?
First things first, quality work.
Okay.
And I don't just mean getting the tech to work, although that's important too.
Yeah.
I'm talking about sweating the details.
Okay.
Wires perfectly hidden, everything labeled neatly, cleaning up so well it's like you were never even there.
Wait, hold on. Cleaning up, that's a core skill.
Might sound silly, but think about it.
Okay.
It shows you respect the client's space, right?
Yeah.
It shows you're professional. Would you trust a chef who leaves their kitchen a total mess?
Okay. Point taken. A clean workspace, it matters. What's next?
All right, this is a big one, especially for people who are used to doing their own setups. Systems thinking.
Systems thinking. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people, they're great at figuring things out on the fly.
Mhm.
They can improvise a solution for their own place. But when it comes to creating a process that works every time for every client,
Yeah, that's different.
totally different. So instead of just winging it, imagine this.
Okay.
You walk in with a plan.
Okay.
You've got your checklist for everything you need to do before you even start installing.
Right.
You've got a system for labeling every single wire.
Right.
You even have a routine for cleaning up afterwards.
So you're basically a well-oiled machine.
Exactly. Less mistakes, less stress, and you look like the total pro that you are.
All right. I'm sold on the checklist idea. But I'm guessing sometimes you need more than just a list. What about communication?
Oh, communication is key. It can make or break an installation, and it's not just about talking to your clients, although that's obviously important.
Right. So who else are we communicating with?
The other people working on the job, the electricians, the plumbers, everybody.
Right. Because it's all connected.
Exactly. And as the smart home installer, you're kind of like the conductor, making sure all those systems play nicely together.
Otherwise, you end up with a smart thermostat fighting with the HVAC system.
Oh, yeah. Nobody wants that.
Yeah. Disaster.
So you got to be talking to the electrician about the wiring, the plumber about how the smart appliances are going to hook up.
Right.
Those conversations beforehand, they prevent so many headaches down the line.
Makes sense. So communication keeps things running smoothly, both with the tech and with the people.
100%.
Okay, so we've got quality work, we've got systems thinking, and we've got communication, all super important. But I can see how some of those things might slip your mind when you're in the thick of it, like you're juggling a million things, the client's stressed. What else helps these smart home installation pros stay on top of their game?
So this next one, it kind of goes hand in hand with communication, but it's a little deeper than that. It's about taking ownership.
Okay, taking ownership.
Right. From the very beginning, you got to be really clear about who's responsible for what.
Right.
And when something goes wrong, because let's face it, with technology,
Something always goes wrong.
always, when that happens, you got to be the one who steps up.
Okay.
It's not about pointing fingers or making excuses.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the client doesn't care whose fault it is.
Nope, they just want it fixed.
Exactly. They just want it to work. So you got to be the problem solver, the one they can rely on, even when things get messy.
Yeah, it's about being trustworthy, dependable, all of that.
100%. Okay, and here's another thing that sets the best installers apart. They're brand agnostic.
Brand agnostic, what does that mean?
So it means they're not loyal to one specific brand or ecosystem.
Okay.
They're not going to try to shoehorn you into something just because they're comfortable with it.
Right, or because they get a better deal if they sell a certain brand.
Exactly. A good installer, they take the time to really understand what the client needs.
Okay.
Their budget, their comfort level with tech, all of it. And then they recommend the best possible solution, even if it means going outside of their comfort zone a little bit.
So they're not afraid to learn new systems, try new things.
Exactly. Because what matters most is that the client is happy with the end result.
Makes sense. It's about finding the best fit, not just pushing a particular product.
Right. And finally, you can't forget about this, the tech world moves fast, right?
Oh, yeah, so fast. What's new today is old news tomorrow.
Exactly. So the best installers, they're committed to always learning new things.
Keeping up with the trends.
Reading those industry blogs, going to webinars, getting their hands dirty with the latest gadgets. That willingness to learn, that's what helps them stay ahead of the curve.
So we've covered a lot today, from practical skills to the people skills to always learning and growing. But really, this isn't just about installing smart homes, is it?
Nope.
These are valuable skills for anyone to have no matter what they do.
100%.
Communicate clearly, think systematically, take responsibility, never stop learning. Those are good rules for life in general.
Absolutely.
Well, on that note, that's a wrap on this deep dive into the world of smart home installers.
Always a pleasure chatting with you.
You too. Thanks to everyone listening. Until next time, may your connections be strong, your setup seamless, and your home's a happy blend of tech and comfort.
Thanks for tuning in to Smart Home Tidbits. Join Sarah and John next time for more smart insights.